The following is a production of the Averett Sports Network.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the E. Stewart James Grant Center here in beautiful Danville, Virginia, about 10 miles up the road from downtown where Averett's main campus is. And we are here for the Cougars' second game of the year as they will host USA South Conference foe NC Wesleyan in USA South Conference action here coming up in about 8.5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Davin Wilson, former Assistant Sports Information Director over here at Averett, and I will be joined today by Mr. Blake Jenkins, who will be on the play-by-play call, adding some color commentary as well to the proceedings, and we're really looking forward to this one, aren't we, Blake?
Yes, sir. It's a big game here with Averett playing their second game. Wesleyan has a couple games under their belt, 8 games, and we're looking to see what Averett can, if they've been really working, if they can come tonight and play a very strong game and get their first conference win.
And, from what we saw the last time out of Averett when they went down to Covenant a couple weeks ago, they got down by double digits there midway through the second half. Managed to find a way to fight back, though, and make it a very competitive ball game. And, it was when I remember I was at work in my real job and, was up there and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah, I want to say it started with Montre Cash. He ended that game with 10 assists. His ability to play the point guard position, get his teammates involved in the game, really helped those Cougars be able to come back in that game.
He really did, and it's funny you mentioned that, Blake, because he really is the true essence of a point guard, and the fact of he's great at creating shooting opportunities for himself outside, and then once you get him down inside the paint as well. But he's also got great vision, very unselfish player, and able to dime out passes, at will.
Yeah, definitely able to pass the ball, and he can create his own shot at will too. He can definitely do both sides of the ball, and that's something that I like to see, and I'm hoping to see more from tonight.
And, they will definitely need him tonight. And, of course, Blake, we were talking about it a little bit before the game. This one is always kind of a special game for Coach David Duino and then NC Wesleyan coach John Thompson. Thompson in his 26th season at USA South, stalwart, has led the Battling Bishops to a couple of NCAA appearances. And one of those with David Duino on the sidelines as his graduate assistant. So it always kind of adds an extra flavor to the gumbo of this rivalry that's Averett and NC Wesleyan.
Definitely. Duino spending 7 seasons there at Wesleyan, he had a very good record there. He finished 106 and 79. He was able to take them to an NCAA tournament championship, which they then won. And in that time, he also won 2 divisional titles with the North Carolina Wesleyan team. So this is always a tough one when they're playing, and you can definitely tell. And I'm pretty sure he's telling his players right now, that this is going to be a meaningful game to him, and I'm pretty sure he's hoping that he comes out with this dub tonight.
Yeah, and in order for the Cougars to come out with this victory, they're really going to have to rely on the principles Duino has built around this team. Hard-nosed defense, crashing the boards. Those are the type of things that are going to create those opportunities, for Averett. As, we saw against Covenant, they were great at creating, second chance points, and then, of course, points off of turnovers and factors such as that.
I feel like by losing by 4 to Covenant, it's just something that the Cougars are going to take to heart tonight, and they're going to know that that even though that game didn't count in conference, it meant something to them. And they know tonight they're trying to get their first win along with first in-conference win. So it's going to be a battle here tonight.
It is, and one, like we were talking about earlier, we always look forward to, of course, Blake, one of the things I love about David Duino, and I'm sure you're probably old enough to remember him, Coach Jimmy Valvano down at NC State, led the Wolfpack to the national championship, the Cardiac Cats, they called him, really, Valvano brought a lot of that fiery emotion. He was a Bronx guy, came from an Italian family, and really brought a lot of that heart and love and fire that, that his family had onto the sideline, and you see a lot of that, with Coach David Duino.
Yeah, that aggressiveness and being able to, especially on the defensive side of the ball, be able to cut down on the fouls but still play aggressive ball and create turnovers. That's what you want, and that's what you need when you're looking to get a win. So I'm looking to see what the Cougars are really going to bring tonight.
And I think they will definitely be motivated. We're going to take a look here at the game notes here real quick. Blake, we were talking earlier about the loss to Covenant, on the neutral court at Brevard on January 6th or January 16th. But they spent the last 17 days kind of idle going into, COVID protocols. The Cougars have had one game canceled and 4 postponed since that date. Meanwhile, NC Wesleyan able to avoid the COVID bug a little bit. They entered the contest on a 3-game win streak following a January 24th road win over Greensboro College. And Blake, it's never easy going into Greensboro College and getting a win.
Yes, definitely. I feel like the big thing tonight is how quick the Cougars can get a start in this game. The Wesleyan being able to play a little bit more games than they have and having a little more edge. The big thing is, are the Cougars going to let that get to them? Are the Cougars going to look at the records and see that they played more game and more conference teams than they did and get a little jittery? And to me, I don't think that will happen tonight. I think the Cougars will come out playing hard like they usually do, and it will be something that we'll be able to really tune into and watch.
Yeah, we will, and it's interesting that you brought that up, Blake. The last time I was over here, it was for the Mary Baldwin scrimmage, preseason scrimmage, and Averett really kind of dominated that first half or that first quarter, and really came out strong. Really, dominated, like I said, double-digit advantage. But then as the game went on, they seemed to lose focus a little bit. So I think that will be a key, for Averett tonight, maintaining that laser-sharp focus.
Definitely. I think they have to have the ability. When you get up with any team that plays a professional sport or any type of sport at all, when you get those leads, it is hard to keep your composure because you're happy that you're up and you're feeling really excited. So those things can turn around real quick when you get in your head. And hopefully the Cougars don't let that happen tonight if they happen to get up.
And, you're right about that. Blake, you and I both being former athletes, of course, I wasn't good enough to play at the collegiate level like you. But, we both know how easy it is to get caught up in that moment when things are going good. You feel like you're invincible and you're just riding this wave of momentum. But, like any other wave, it can turn on you at a heartbeat, too.
At a heartbeat, yeah. But it's just crazy how things can just change in a matter of minutes. A couple quick turnovers and things can really get out of hand.
Yep. And that's one thing I've always loved about basketball, especially at the collegiate level and really at the pros as well. But how quick the game can change on its head. It truly is a game of runs, a game of streaks, and
Definitely.
It's amazing how quickly a 15-point deficit can turn into a 15-point lead. So, and we're going to take a look here. So far, the Cougars entered this one. They are 40-58 all-time against NC Wesleyan. Averett has won 5 in a row against the Bishops, though, including the regular season series sweep last season, and also a win in the USA South Tournament quarterfinals. And you got to really know that Duino really enjoyed that USA South Conference victory last year.
He definitely did. And he's definitely leading this Cougars team, and he's showing that in these last 5 seasons that he's been with these Cougars that he's rebuilding something. He's rebuilding his program, and him getting his, first of all, we're going to talk about, he won Coach of the Year last year for the USA South, and that's definitely an amazing accomplishment for him. And I know his his players have to be ecstatic for him, especially now that they're playing Wesleyan here tonight. And having an upwards advantage on these last 5 games against Wesleyan, I know the Cougars are looking to extend that here.
Yes, they are. And, we are going to take a brief pause for the playing of the national anthem, but we'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the national anthem courtesy of the Averett University Singers over here. And Blake, I'm a Danville native myself. I attended soccer camps over here at Averett on the main campus where the new dorms are, and it's really amazing to see the change in it now and see how everything over here at the Grant Center, and then how everything has grown at main campus as well.
Definitely is, and since my freshman year, it's a big difference looking at this court right now and knowing that the history and how the Averett Cougars have been played and how they have been playing. They definitely deserve to have this new court, especially women's basketball, volleyball as well, wrestling. They all tie into bringing this new court to the Averett Athletics.
They really do, and so we're going to take a look here at the projected starters for the Cougars right now. Blake, we were talking earlier about Montre Cash, the senior point guard, out of Rocky Mount, which is actually in where NC Wesleyan is.
Wesleyan is, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have forward Jason Sellers II, the 6'6" freshman big man coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Backing him up in the third spot is 6'2" forward Bryson Davis, senior out of Morgantown, Kentucky. Definitely an anchor as far as veteran leadership on this squad. Then you also have Isaiah Jones checking in 6'5", the junior out of nearby Wake Forest. And then Danville native Mr. Bryson McLaughlin, the 6'3" forward out of Dan River, getting the starting nod today as well. And Blake, one thing about Bryson is he actually attended Virginia Tech for a while, had a football scholarship up there. We're not a scholarship, but had a spot, a preferred walk-on spot at Tech. Stayed up there a semester, didn't like it, decided to come back here and join Averett's team in February. But Bryson was a big part of a very successful Dan River program here in Virginia.
You can tell that he's happy to be home, and with him being home and playing for these Averett Cougars, you can feel the intensity, and he knows that him being in this city and being close to home, it means something to him. And you can tell by the way he plays that he loves being here.
You can, and the same with Tyrese Morrison. He's down here, Danville kid as well, played at Carlisle. And Morrison, his dad, is actually holds a host of records. We don't have enough time to get into them all, but really just a integral, very historical part of this Averett program. Also coaches out at high school here in Danville now, and so both of those guys have that extra connection to Danville.
Definitely.
And so here we go. We're seconds away from the tip.
As Wesleyan wins the first tip, Cougars with the hustle, and it's going to be Wesleyan ball.
And so that's going to be, one thing we were talking about earlier. Averett with the focus, making sure no fouls, no turnovers, no things like that. And, we'll see how this goes from here. So right now the battling Bishops with the ball, trying to work it in from the outside of the key, trying to work outside in here.
Shots up. First shot good for the Wesleyan.
So Wesleyan out to a quick 2-0 lead here with 19:32 left in the first half. Cash trying to use his point guard skills to make something happen. He's going to get it over to Jones. Jones back over to Davis. Davis, a bounce pass back into Jones.
Sellers with a nice lane right there.
And thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. So you hear Averett now on the sideline, trying to will his defense to a stop, and Cash gets a little flick on it. NC Wesleyan maintains possession.
Nice steal by the Cougars. We talked about that defense here tonight.
And starting to see it early here.
Nice pass. Oh, blocked by Wesleyan. But you see the vision by Montre Cash on that pass.
He saw Sellers coming down there on the left wing. Found him, and Sellers trying to make the diagonal run, but good eyes, good play there, good idea for the Cougars.
Rebound by Isaiah.
And Isaiah is one of those players. I love interviewing him after games. He's always so fun. And there's a turnover by the Cougars. And that's going to lead to a bucket for the battling Bishops and a 4-2 lead.
Isaiah definitely brings a lot to this Cougars team with the ability to play defense, the ability to space the floor, and also his ability to post up. And those things you love to see in a big man like that.
Yes, especially the, ability to be able to post up and then, like you said, shoot from the inside as well. I mean, those are, becoming more and more rarities even in the NBA today.
Definitely.
So bounce pass there, the shoulder pass across the court. So it's going to be Braden Dixon. And that's going to get over to number 15, Damon McDowell. Shot no good. Averett with the rebound.
Cash brings it up the floor. Drive. Shot by Cash. This one's off. Nice board by the Danville native, McCall.
And that was one thing McLaughlin was a big part of, on Ken Murphy's team. And McLaughlin inside
with a tough laying right there.
There was nothing easy about that shot, but McLaughlin made it look easy. So Averett with his first lead at 6-4. And that's going to be number 4, Braden Dixon, on the inside pass to number 21.
McDowell, and he's off.
Cash with the rebound. And that's going to be Jones drawing the foul. It's going to be charged against number 21, Isaiah Lewis. And welcome back here on the Averett Sports Network. If you're just joining us, Averett up to a 6-4 lead, nearly 4 minutes into the contest. Battling Bishops getting a few new legs in. Khalid Chavis Hims into the game. So Cash is going to encounter some opposition. Tried to get the ball off to number 40, Bullock III. Blake, there's something very dignified about that name, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Yes. So Wesleyan, they're trying to spread it out, and there's going to be the outside shot by
McDowell for 3.
And I have a feeling we're going to be hearing that name quite a bit tonight.
He definitely missed his first 2 shots, but he got that one to go right there.
He did. Looked like a shooter, and he's going to put the Battling Bishops up at 7-6. And Cash is going to draw the foul. It's going to be number 24, Tim Pettiford. It's his first foul, team second. And we're going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network. Whew. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center. NC Wesleyan out to a 7-6 lead. And you got to excuse me if I'm a little out of breath. I had to run down and grab a program there. And shot clock violation. NC Wesleyan will force the turnover. And that's one thing we were talking about earlier, Blake.
You know, this defense by Wesleyan starting out the gates is very strong and aggressive. They're getting on Montre really, really hard, and they're not allowing him to be able to space the floor and pass the ball like he usually does. And you can see the Averett Cougars are struggling right now with that.
They are, and, you know, especially a couple of times, Bullock, you know, always so good, and that's going to be a bucket by number 25, Salbe Young. The junior guard forward out of Apex, North Carolina. Not too far from Danville.
Not too far.
Not too far at all. Lived down there for a while. It's a nice little area. And so Ava's going to be number 24, Jones. He's going to get it off to Bullock the third. Bullock with the turnaround J, and he'll get it to fall. And Ava now trails 9-8.
That's Bullock's spot right there. Low post work, being able to turn around with the hook shot or J is really his game. And when he gets comfortable, it's kind of hard to stop him down there.
And Blake, he reminds me a lot of a young man we used to have here at Averett, Carter Jones. Played, I believe, from 2014 to 16, I believe it was. But he was about Bullock third size and was great at really kind of hitting those post shots.
Definitely.
So. And it looks like there's going to be a foul here on the play.
Drake Thompson will go to the line for 2.
And, Blake, that's going to be one thing that's going to be interesting to see today. It seems like a lot of the times when these two teams meet, it comes down to performance from the free throw line. And so, you know, we'll see if it's going to be another one of those issues today. Early on, looks like it very well could be at 9-8.
Definitely.
And so Averett's going to switch a few things up. Both sides will switch a few things up.
Especially with the aggressiveness on both sides of the ball on defense. And it's just really to see how lenient the refs are today. You know, with no fans and these Cougars and these battling Bishops feeding off their own energy, you can tell in here, like, when the bench is loud, that's the energy that the on-court players are feeding off of.
They really are. And, you know, I made the joke the last time I was over here. You know, one thing we always try to, one of the big reasons we played music, of course, you know, you want to pump up the fans and things like that, but it's also to kind of drown out some of the noise from the coaches. And a little physicality down there, and that's going to lead to an Averett foul. It's going to be number 35, Miles Paulden.
Hard foul right there.
It was, and he looks like he's a little shaken up. He's going to take a seat for a second. Sellers, the second, will check back in. And Blake, I haven't had a chance to see much of Sellers with him being one of the underclassmen on this team, but from everything I've seen, I've been very impressed with him.
Definitely. He shows a lot of talent, especially to be able to come into the game and be another big for these Averett Cougars and be able to do a little low post work. It definitely helps on the offensive side of the ball.
And you're right about that. And this Averett team, really, Blake, is one of the biggest that I have seen in a while, under David Duino. And they're going to need it this year as they still are getting into their shooting groove and working on knocking down these shots in big game situations.
There's a block by McLaughlin.
A nice pass from Sellers over to Cash. A little one-handed floater made it look pretty. And that's going to
stay with the Cougars.
And deflected off of Damon McDowell, the senior guard forward out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
It's kind of close to my area. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, yeah.
Oh, you're from Charleston, huh?
Yes, sir.
You got a beautiful hometown. And McDowell,
nice laying right there.
And I tell you one thing, McDowell almost kind of took on Dennis Rodman or MJ for him right there. And there's the big steal, a turnaround dunk by number 22, Thompson.
That's what we talked about earlier. A couple quick turnovers, and things can get out of hand real fast.
That's it, and especially it's led to 4 Battling Bishop's points here in a matter of about 30 seconds. And there's a missed opportunity. NC Wesleyan picks it up on the other end. That's going to be number 15, McDowell, and they're going to say he stepped on the line there. So Averett with a quick chance to regroup, get itself together a little bit. Number 24, Isaiah Jones, will be checking back into the game.
Wesleyan's being real aggressive on these offensive fast breaks, trying to get to the lane and create fouls and get quick buckets in transition.
And they're definitely using Averett's, I don't want to say youth necessarily because they're not a necessarily extremely young team, but definitely kind of using the youth to its advantage here early on. So 14-8 as Cash gets the ball outside where he really likes to take it. That's going to get back over to number 12, Sellers. Sellers goes up.
He's blocked right there. But being a freshman, you can't be in these big time moments, these big time conference games, even if it's early on, you can't be scared to attack the basket. And I don't think Sellers will be. I think he'll be very aggressive in the time that he's in the game today.
I think he will be too. And we just saw it right there as he was coming down and definitely took a little bit of a shot. There's the 3-ball, and that is going to make it a 3-point game. Number 14, Mr. Bryson Davis, coming up with the senior leadership right there. Making a 3-point game with 12:07 left in the first half. Let's see Wesleyan with the drive in, ball tip, no good.
Blocked by Isaiah Jones. What a block.
Jones really got up there and put the fly swatter on it, and it's Averett ball. Steve Cash, and Cash with the spin move.
And he's fouled.
Blake, it almost looked like Cash was a physics teacher right there, putting on a lesson in physics. And so we're going to have a media timeout here on the court. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network.
I think being a student athlete impacts my overall experience a lot, just gaining a brotherhood with my teammates and then with all the other teams, a big connection throughout all of athletics, and makes it fun to walk around campus and see everyone you know, and everyone comes out and encourages you at games, so it makes it a really fun environment.
My time at Averett has impacted me definitely for the positive. It's given me a wide range of experiences that has given me plenty of resources that I'll need going forward, whether it be on the field through athletics, working in my field in sports medicine, or just giving me plenty more opportunities and outlets through work study. Definitely giving me the best chance and opportunities I need for the future.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center here in Danville, Virginia. If you're just joining us, NC Wesleyan jumped out to a 14-8 lead. Meanwhile, Averett has answered with 3 straight points to trim it back down to 3. And now Cash will look to chip in that deficit even more, and he does with the freebie, 14-12. So let's see what Cash does here. And he's going to live up to his name, cash both of them in, and it's now a 14-13 game. Jameel Carter, Jr., the freshman guard out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, checking in for the Cougars. And he's another one, Blake, that I was very impressed with against Mary Baldwin. I actually think if he didn't lead the team, he came pretty close to leading the team in points.
Definitely. I feel like this Cougars team has a lot of youth that can be the future for this organization. He hasn't checked in the game yet, but Jordan Lewis, he had a USA South Rookie of the Week. He had a big game in that first one against Covenant, and I can't wait to see what he does tonight when he gets his opportunity.
Yeah, and that's it. And, that was another one that's kind of funny. We were talking about at the break about, the back and forth of broadcasting, and you kind of took the words right out of my mouth right there talking about Lewis. So we are back here, and that's going to be number 11, Khalid Chavis Hens. And that's going to get over to McDowell. McDowell with some nice handwork behind his back. Shot does not fall, though. Cougars with the rebound. Clock shot resets. Or shot clock. I said clock shot, didn't I? Shot clock resets.
It seems like they're trying to get McDowell the ball a lot early on in this game so he can find his rhythm.
And you're right about that. And
McDowell again. Transition layup.
And, we were talking about before the game, that's really so much of this is just back and forth and can turn on a dime. And let's see if Averett can steal some of that momentum away from the Battling Bishops right now.
McDowell now with 7 points. He's 3 for 8, trying to find his rhythm still, but he's leading these Battling Bishops. Nice rebound.
And that's the Cougars' second shot clock violation of the half, and it will lead to a turnover. And it looks like number 4, Braden Dixon, and looks like number 25, Salve Young, back into the game for the Battling Bishops. Salve Young checking in at 6'4". And he has the ball right now. The bounce pass over to number 4, Braden Dixon. Braden with a little bit of a shove off there, no foul.
Great defense by Cash right there.
Really was, and really it was great defense for him not to draw the foul right there. Because there was definitely a little contact and very easy to pick up the block right there. NC Wesleyan, a little over-the-top pass, trying to break the Cougars' 3-man press right there. It's going to be number 10, Askew, getting in.
And he's going to get it to drop right there.
Off the back iron, kind of hung in the air a minute, almost like something out of a movie or something like that.
A high floater right there.
Yeah. And so that's going to be number 13, Baldwin.
Look at they say that the ball stays with the Battling Bishops. I don't know about that one right there, Gavin.
It definitely looked like the ball was last touched by the Bishops, but it's very easy for us to say that up here.
Yeah.
We're not quite as close. But yeah, definitely one of those moments that you saw Cash, he just wanted some clarification on. And close to a walk right there. So number 4, Braden Dixon. Dixon goes up.
I'm going to call a foul on Cash right there.
And that definitely was surprising. And let's see if that's going to turn into a 3-point swing.
Bishop's looking to up this lead by 8.
And the Bishops currently on a 6-0 run as the Cougars were able to pull within 1, but it's been a couple of nice inside shooting drives for the Battling Bishops, and 2013 is now the score.
Dixon misses the free throw. So far, you've seen these Battling Bishops miss a couple free throws here early in the first. So see if that continues through the game. You know, like we talked about earlier, free throws will or could play a big factor in this game today.
And
ball went for 3, can't get it to go. Cougars there on the offensive glass, nope. And they're gonna call a foul on Jones.
And I guess they were trying to get him on the reach in, but that looked like a typical jump ball situation right there. It's always going to be contact when you got 2 guys wrestling for the ball, and I think that's definitely a no whistle call right there. And
with this being an in-conference game, these refs they don't look so far to be a little too lenient towards no foul calls today. So we're going to see how this game continues to play on.
Yeah, and that could definitely have a factor because it's generally a very physical game between these 2 teams when they do play. They both go hard at each other. They're both kind of built on that same hard-nosed, blue-collar grindstone mentality. And we'll see if the momentum, if the rhythm of the game is disrupted by this.
Another foul was just called, and right now we got Braden Dixon going to the line again. If I'm not mistaken, I think that puts the Battling Bishops in the bonus.
Yes, it does. Everything here will automatically send the Battling Bishops to the line. So let's see if Dixon can hit the back end of this 1-and-1. And he does not. And there's going to be a foul whistled against the Battling Bishops right there. That will be number 25, Sal Bay Young. And, that's one thing, Blake, that you always love to see, that if you're going to call a tight game, if you're going to keep an eye on it, you do want to make sure that it does go both ways and just not towards one team.
Definitely. With these Bishops being in the bonus early on, you'll see how they try to take advantage of that. You look to see a lot of more drives to the lanes rather than outside arc shots. And we're going to see if the Cougars can prevent fouling these Battling Bishops here.
And that's going to be key for them. And a swarm of defense right there, swarm of blue and yellow, blue and gold NC Wesleyan jerseys. And refs are going to say that bounced off of Averett. It will be NC Wesleyan's ball, and there's going to be a timeout on the court, and Blake, we're just going to go ahead and stay with him here this time. Really so far, it's a lot of what we were talking about pregame, a lot of physicality and a lot of crashing the boards and trying to prevent the turnovers.
Definitely, and you see these turnovers by the Cougars early on are allowing these Battling Bishops to get out on fast breaks and be able to get easy layups. And if not a layup, they're getting fouled and they're going to the line. So this Cougars team has to figure out a way to stop these turnovers and to slow these Battling Bishops down.
And, one thing that we have seen some out of David Duino over the years, he does do a good job at running his own defense. And, he will switch to that if he needs to, and he can switch to it at a drop of a hat. And also if he feels like he needs to press a little bit more, they can very easily sit into the press as well.
Definitely. They got some elite quick defenders that they can put out into the press, or you can drop them into zone and get a lot of good switches. So we look to see what his coaching is and the way that he can adjust to the Battling Bishops early on.
And, it's definitely not going to be an easy call here because the Battling Bishops have had a lot of different players involved on the scoring so far. Of course, McDowell being one of the big guys thus far in this game, but really doing a good job of spreading the ball out. So it kind of makes it tricky at that point for Duino to keep up with the assignments and, who needs to be guarding who and things such as that.
Definitely.
So we're back here. 8 minutes left to go in the first half. 21-13 is your score. Hens with the ball, gets it over to McDowell. McDowell inside to Bay Young.
That one's blocked by Isaiah Jones. Great defense by the Cougars there.
And that is one thing that you can always say about Averett is they're going to come out, they're going to give you that blue chip defense.
Definitely. They got and another foul call on the Averett Cougars. Battling Bishops will go to the line for another 2 free throws.
And that's another one of those that could really go either way, but I guess they decided since was already in the paint there that go ahead and have it a defensive foul. So number 24, Jones, getting whistled. That is his second, Averett's 8th team. So Tim Pettiford at the line. First shot goes around the world, falls into the net. So Bryson Davis into the game along with McLaughlin. And one thing, Blake, that we've seen out of David Duino this year, he will go to his bench early and often. He's not shy about that at all.
Definitely. And I feel like that makes a great coach, being able to trust the players that you have coming off the bench to come in and give you something that the starters just wasn't. And then when the starters check back in, the starters can feed off the bench players. You don't see that a lot, but when you do, you know those make great teams, being able to have proficient bench players that can score the ball.
Yeah, you look at your Kentuckys, your UConns on the women's side, And there's a turnaround jumper by Cash, no good. McLaughlin with the rebound, puts it back up, the one-handed floater. And David Duino is going to take another timeout. And Blake, I think we're going to take it with him and give our voice a second to rest here on the Averett Sports Network.
Being a student athlete here has definitely pushed me to do things that I have not been able to do in the past. Because of my team, I have opened up more socially, and they have pushed me to be a better athlete and a better student, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center. And as you just saw during the commercial break, Drew Wilson and his staff over here, they do a great job of putting together these commercials to give you a little bit more of an authentic feel to the game. And, one thing, and McDowell with the long tray from the corner, no good. Quick pass back down the court to Bryson, and he has his shot swatted away. But, of course, with the Covenant game, one thing we have to mention, it was Averett's SID, Drew Wilson, and then Covenant's SID, Andrew Middleman. They both got together last second, decided to put together a remote broadcast of the Covenant game, and probably the first remote broadcast in USA South Conference history. So congratulations to Averett and Covenant for both going down into the record books right there.
That's definitely... Being able to do that on such short notice as well is definitely amazing. And for two teams just to be able to come together and make that happen is truly special.
It really is. And, Blake, one thing that I've learned being over here at Averett and being around sports for the past, 6-7 years is when these teams are on the court, they're going hard at each other. But when that whistle blows, that buzzer sounds, 90% of the time they're laughing, they're hugging. I'm not saying they're going to Sizzler together, but, it's not and a quick bucket there for the Cougars, but there's not any animosity after everybody steps off the court.
Definitely, and I feel like that's what makes these sports kind of electrifying, because although you can see the energy on the court, when it's all said and done, there's friendships behind this, and those things are more than the game of basketball. So it's great that people are able to do that.
And it really is, and you think about the fact that some of these kids growing up together, either playing with each other in high school or maybe against each other. And there's a quick bucket by number 21, Isaiah Lewis. 25-19, 5:28. But to get to see them, complete this journey to the collegiate level that very few high school student athletes get to make, it's a pretty special thing.
It definitely is, especially seeing these people come out of high school and then the transformation that they have becoming into men, and that has a lot to do with the coaching and the people that they're around, and especially the teammates and the culture that's built within the team that they play for.
That's it, and both of these two teams, two great coaches in John Thompson and David Duino, and both very experienced with dealing with young men and educating them, and really at the end of the day, that's what it's about at the college level. Is you're trying to educate these young men, and you're trying to develop them into productive individuals, off the court as well. And so NC Wesleyan with the ball, and that's going to be Braden Dixon. He gets it off to McDowell. McDowell back across the court to Dixon. Jones does a nice job of trying to get in there, and he forces a little bit of disruption right there. And so Averett will get the ball. There's the pass in to Cash. So
Cash looking to get into his rhythm. He has 4 early turnovers, and I know he's probably in his head right now, but he has to forget about it. Those turnovers are in the past. He's a true point guard of this team, and he needs to be able to lead his team and get them open.
And, I think it's one thing that we'll see. Averett definitely a little winded right now, trying to catch his breath. And Cash goes up, does not get it to fall. It's going to be number 22, Thompson, coming down with the rebound. Number 4, Dixon. Dixon over to McDowell. McDowell back to Dixon. Dixon driving in, well defended.
Blocked by Isaiah Jones once again. Isaiah Jones doing a great job with some help defense here and getting another block. Second block of the night by Isaiah Jones.
And Jones really using that big frame of his to get in there and to swat the ball away, do his job on, like you said, Blake, on the defensive end as well.
Not only his ability to be able to score in the low post, but to be able to guard the low post and be able to slide over quick for help defense. As they're going to be called for a 5-second violation.
And, we were talking about it earlier, that 3-man press or the half-court press. The things that Averett does so well, and you're seeing a little bit of it right there on that 5-second violation. So let's see if Averett can capitalize. Ball is smacked away, picked up by Davis. Davis over to Sellers. Sellers over to Cash. Cash back over to Jones. Jones using those big hands to pull the ball in. Jones over to Cash. Cash with the long attempt. Nice offensive effort there by Sellers to pick it up. Cash.
Nice way to crash the glass by the Cougars right here.
And that's going to be some of what Averett needs, especially on the offensive end.
Another turnover by Cash. Crafty laying, doesn't get it to go right there. Cougars ball.
And Blake, you were talking earlier in the pregame show about, the pregame show about, Cash's his work to this team, for the lack of a better word, and then also how the battling Bishops were going to come in and really try to corner him, and they've done a good job of it so far.
They definitely have. He hasn't really been able to not only get himself involved, but get his teammates involved. And I feel like when he's able to do that, this Cougar team plays a whole lot better. And they're able to move the ball and get more open shots.
Mm-hmm. They really are. And, like we were talking to, they're really able to open the door up for other teammates as well. It's going to be number 13, Devin Respert, the 5'9" sophomore guard out of close by Greensboro, North Carolina. Went to Grimsley High School. And Blake, Grimsley known for its athletics, its basketball, and then also its football program.
Freshman Jamil Carter also checks in for the Cougars, number 10.
And it's going to be Davis over to Jones. Jones over to Bullock. And that's going to be a foul there. Whistled on NC Wesleyan, and more of that tough defensive play we were talking about.
Definitely. been real physical here tonight, and I can only expect it to get more physical
as it goes on. So, well, we're going to have a timeout here on the court. We're going to take it with them on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grand Center, as it is going to be Bullock going to the line. Bullock, the senior guard forward out of Whitakers, North Carolina. First shot goes in. 25-20 is now your score. So let's see if he can make it 2 for 2 here. Cut this down to a 2-possession game. He will not be able to, and that's going to be number 10, SQ, coming down with the rebound. And right now, NC Wesleyan, especially on the offensive end of the rebounding glass, definitely winning the battle right now. And, you know, it's led to some quick defensive or some quick transition points as well.
Definitely. I feel like on both sides of the ball, they're being very aggressive and crashing the offensive and defensive glass. Being able to get second chance points is also a big factor in this game. And you can tell that's the reason that they're up 5 points here in this first half.
And it definitely is. And, you know, Averett does, you know, they do have plans to adapt for that, and we'll see if they go for that. And so it's going to be number 10, Carter. And that one is going to deflect off of Bullock, the third.
Cougars have been getting some nice open shots here lately, but they just haven't been able to get them to drop in.
And I think right now, you know, what you might be seeing a group of younger guys maybe trying a little bit too hard to really start chipping into this deficit, and, you know, kind of just need to sit back, play their game, and, you know, realize there's still 23 minutes left in this one.
And the biggest question was, how are the Cougars going to come out and play following their long time from not playing, from the last time that they have played. And it's kind of showing early on that they're kind of trying to get the groove back and get into a rhythm of things, and how different it is from practice and how fast-paced the game is actually.
Yeah. And, you know, plus, too, you know, Blake, you probably get to, and it's going to be number 13, Corey Baldwin, checking into the game. But, you know, you probably get to the point where you see each other's face so much in practice. That's all you are playing against. And, you know, you probably just, it's got to fatigue you a little bit. And then, like you said, when you get out here and it's a full-paced game and things are going at 100 miles an hour, you know, it can be a little bit difficult to adjust. So both coaches calling their ball right there, and it's going to be Duino winning things out as his guys will keep possession. So Cash over to Jones. Jones gives the dump off over to Baldwin. Baldwin inside to Sellers, and it's going to bounce off a battling Bishop's foot.
Sellers got his hands on that ball right there. It could have been an easy layup for the Cougars.
And, you know, number 13, Corey Baldwin, is another one that I enjoyed meeting last year from Henderson, which is give or take an hour and 15 minutes from Danville. But was just another one that I enjoyed meeting last year, getting to interview. And there goes Jones.
Nice offensive rebound by the Cougars right there. Stealing those possessions is definitely a key need, as Sellers misses that layup.
And there's the transfer over to Resper. 1:58 left in this low-scoring first half. 45 points altogether have been combined, 25-20 in favor of the Bishops. The Bishops have led for a majority of the game, and Battling Bishops getting whistled for the walk.
Cash looks like he thought there was going to be a foul called right there.
I think he was expecting it, and like we were talking about earlier with the way these officials have been very loose with their whistles today, you can't really blame him for thinking that.
Definitely. Especially right after he took the spin move in.
Yeah. And McLaughlin with the ball. Over to Baldwin. Baldwin fakes, puts up the three.
It's good. That right there is what the Cougars needed. A nice shot from behind the arc to get them going. Let's see if these Cougars can feed off of that right here late in the first half. Bad pass. The Cougars are out in transition. Oh, great defense to stop the break by the Wesleyan.
And Cash has such body control. It's amazing. We've seen him stop back, pull up a couple of times. He just has such amazing control over his body and over his movements.
Cash there with another turnover. That makes it 6 turnovers here in the first half for Cash.
And David Duino will definitely be talking with him about that here today at the break. Which don't forget to tune in for the Kickback Jacks halftime show here on the Averett Sports Network. We've got a good one brewing if you just joined us, 25-23. No team has led by more than 8 all day. And we'll see if that tightness continues into the second half or if the game opens up in either team's favor. Shot goes in. 26-23, 56 seconds left here in the first half. So McDowell lining things up. And his shot will go in, and it's now a possession ball game.
Braden Dixon checks into the game for number 12, R.J. Bailey. Number 13, Devin Resper.
And it's a little bit harder to see than usual. The lights are a little bit lower up here without the fans, and so a little bit harder to read these rosters. So Cash. And we're going to have a foul whistled in the backcourt. Looks like it's going to be whistled on Dixon.
As he just checks into the game and picks up a foul right away.
Didn't waste any time, did he?
No, he didn't. Sellers going to go to the line for 2.
And, Dixon has been one that we have been able to see pull down a few rebounds here today, make a couple of contributions on that end. And first shot left a little bit of room to wonder there, but Sellers gets it to fall.
Sellers makes this second one right here. Cougars may have a chance to take the lead going into the half.
Going into the break, and we've seen it so many times where Averett will put together a run in the final 2 minutes and then take a lead in the half and carry that momentum, from the break into the second period.
Definitely.
And so it's going to be number 4, Dixon. And Dixon gives it over to McDowell. McDowell back to Dixon. Dixon gets it over to Eskew. Eskew back to Dixon. Eskew with a shot, does not fall. And that's Bullock, the third, coming up with a huge rebound. Shot clock off with 19 seconds. See, the Averett just plays for a last shot here. It looks like that's what they're going to do is we have not seen Cash call anything yet.
Definitely looking to either tie the game up or take the lead as they find Bullock. Bullock pump fakes, and they're going to call a block.
And that ball
on the floor right there. Potentially could have been a foul.
And we kind of thought for a second that it might be.
1.7 left. Cougars look for a quick shot as they get it to Bryson. This one's too short.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take us to the end of the first 20 minutes here. We are going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network, but when we come back, we will have some stats and some thoughts on the game thus far here on the Averett Sports Network.
I think Averett's a special place because of the camaraderie amongst everybody. I feel like it's a lot of friendships that won't be broken throughout my life, and it gave me a chance to show my abilities in wrestling and in the classroom.
I think being a student athlete impacts my overall experience a lot, just gaining a brotherhood with my teammates, and then with all the other teams, a big connection throughout all of athletics, and makes it fun to walk around campus and see everyone you know, and everyone comes out and encourages you at games, so it makes it a really fun environment.
My time at Averett has impacted me definitely for the positive. It's given me a wide range of experiences that has given me plenty of resources that I'll need going forward, whether it be on the field through athletics, working in my field in sports medicine, or just giving me plenty of more opportunities and outlets through work study. Definitely giving me the best chance and opportunities I need for the future.
Being a student athlete here has definitely pushed me to do things that I have not been able to do in the past. Because of my team, I have opened up more socially, and they have pushed me to be a better athlete and a better student, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them.
student athlete and an aviation major was actually a huge plus for me in deciding to come to Averett. I looked into multiple schools, hundreds of schools actually, and Averett just felt like home to me as soon as I stepped foot on campus. As soon as I stepped foot in the airport and when I got on North Campus, it was just a great feeling. Very home-like feeling, especially being so far away from home, me being from Houston, Texas. I felt like it was amazing being able to kind of see the atmosphere that they had built here and the family and really the community that they built here. You know, it really feels like you're being in a big neighborhood kind of. I really enjoy my time here at Averett so far, and one of the biggest reasons that I picked Averett was because of me being able to do both, being a student athlete and also being able to fly planes. That's one of my I think favorite things to say to anybody when they ask me what my collegiate experience has been like. I could definitely say, you know, I've been flying planes and playing football. There's not too many people in the country that could say that. Being a student athlete and an aviation major was actually a huge plus for me in deciding to come to Averett. I looked into multiple schools, hundreds of schools actually, and
going back to school is not just for the kids. Averett University has degree programs for working adults who want to pursue their bachelor's or master's online or on campus. Visit gps.averett.edu for more information.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Averett Sports Network. As you see, the first half has ended. We're about midway through halftime. NC Wesleyan clinging on to a 27-25 lead. And if you're just joining us here, I'm Davin Wilson, and joined here by Blake Jenkins today, who will be providing some very in-depth color commentary for us throughout this ballgame. Has already provided some in-depth color commentary. And so let's go ahead and give the fans what they want, what they're here for, and here on the Kickback Jacks halftime show. And so we're going to take a look here at some of the leaders. First off, we've got Mr. Damon McDowell, we were talking about earlier, 9 points for the Bishops so far, leads them. Then Tim Pettiford with 6. 2 of those have actually come from the free throw line. And then Isaiah Lewis with 4. And, Blake, that was one thing we were talking about was, Wesleyan spreading the ball out here thus far in this game, as they have 2, 4, 6, 7 guys on the board. And so, Thompson has to be feeling good about that.
Definitely. I feel like this Wesleyan team definitely came out with a mindset of what they wanted to do against these Averett Cougars, and they're sticking to their game plan. Being able to spread the floor and find the open man. Of course, they're trying to get McDowell involved in the game as he's shooting 3 for 11 right now, but that's what you do when you have a player, but you tend to not focus on that completely. Like, they're also getting their other teammates involved in the game, and you see that's kind of the sole reason why they had a strong first half compared to the Cougars.
And they really did, and as we said, McDowell leading the way with 9. Really, to Mr. Drake Thompson with 4 boards thus far, leading the battling Bishops. Has 2 on the offensive end, 2 on the defensive end. Then you have Sal Young with 3, and Tim Pettiford and Isaiah Lewis each with 2 as well. And so now we're going to go down here and take a look. Well, one thing we're missing out on too is here Isaiah Lewis with 3 swats tonight. So he will definitely be looking to keep that up here going into the second half. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, right now Jason Sells is second, leads the way with 8 points. Bryson Davis with 5. McLaughlin with 4. And, one thing that is really sticking out to me right now, Blake, we've been talking about it all game. Montre Cash only with 2 points tonight so far for the Cougars, but he has added 2 steals as well.
Definitely, with Montre Cash, being that floor general for these Cougars team, and you're expecting him to be able to generate a lot for this offense, being a vocal leader and a vocal floor general. You know, he's struggling right now being 0 for 4, and his 2 points coming from the free throw line. And the biggest thing that I feel like is slowing him down from shooting the ball is the turnovers. You know, he right now he has 6 turnovers at the half, and the Cougars have 12 total turnovers. And then the North Carolina Wesleyan battling Bishops only have 9. So he's only 3 turnovers away from having the same amount as the battling Bishops. And I feel like the coach talked to him, and he's going to come out in this second half better and stronger than he was in the first. And the thing that caught my eye the most really is Sellers leading the way with 8 points. You know, him being a freshman and averaging 10 minutes a game, which is not even close to how much usually the starters get. He's definitely playing a big role here tonight for this Cougars offense.
And he really has, and you know, that's one thing that really caught my eye too, was Sellers leading with 8. And then, you know, looking on the rebound end of things, McLaughlin right now with 6 total rebounds, 4 on the offensive end. You got Isaiah Jones with 4, and then Cash with a pair as well. And so, you know, these the rebounding game is going to be crucial here moving forward, and we'll see what happens. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to spend the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds of this halftime break, taking a break ourselves. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center. We are about 3 seconds away from the start of this second half. And Blake, it's going to be very interesting to see if it's going to be in the words of one of my favorite groups, Digital Underground, if it's going to be the same old song or if it's going to be something different here, in the second half altogether.
Definitely. You mentioned on the halftime break that the rebounds are going to play a big factor in the second half, and I totally agree with you because as we saw, Bryson being able to grab those offensive rebounds kept these Cougars in position for second chance points and to be able to cut the lead back down to 2. And hopefully, as they start this second half with the ball, they're able to continue that and take the lead and move forward with this game.
Well, one thing I've been very impressed all game with, with this Averett team, even when it was down by 8, they did not go rushing things. They didn't automatically start trying to go outside. They stuck to the bread and butter, and we're going to see if they can keep doing that in the second half. So I believe that is Cash going to be whistled with the foul.
As you see, he started this second half with another turnover. That makes it 7. That's something to keep your eyes on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Montre Cash kind of struggling here tonight. We're going to hope that he picks it up because he's a great point guard for this Cougars team.
He is, and he's such a vital point, such a vital part of this, of this squad. And there's a turnaround jumper by number 21. Isaiah Lewis got a little fancy there, put it back in, and NC Wesleyan will pick up the first points of the second half. McLaughlin does a great job of driving down, kicks it out to Davis. Davis does not get the fall.
You see these Battling Bishops pushing. As soon as they get the defensive rebound, they're pushing the floor to find a way or find a crack in this Cougars defense.
They really are playing very fast. Paced really all around right now, and we'll see if that's going to cause the Cougars to wear down a little bit. Of course, we see them drop back into 3-2 very quickly right there. So Wesleyan trying to get around the Cougars defense right now inside, and number 24, Tim Bedford, says, I don't mind a little contact, and goes up and gets the bucket.
2 quick baskets for the Battling Bishops down low here in the second half as they lead 31-25. As Montre Cash gets his first bucket from the field goal this half.
And you can tell he's a little relieved to get that one right there.
Started off 0 for 4, sitting at 1 for 5 right now.
And we'll see if he can carry this, if he can start getting a little bit more involved here, because Averett definitely relies on his presence.
Definitely does.
And Averett will get whistled for the foul. It's going to be number 11, Hens, coming into the game.
A couple of early foul calls once again in this second half. Kind of similar to what we've seen in the first half. So looking to see if it continues or if the refs, like I said earlier, give them a little leeway to play a physical, hard game.
And, really at this point in the season, especially with it being a shortened season, you almost, in a way, I wonder if you grapple with the thing of, do we let the kids play a little bit harder than usual, or do we need to kind of back off a little bit, or clamp down?
As you can see right there, the ref kind of went to talk to them about being in that type of formation, and then as soon as they broke, called Bryson Davis for the foul right there.
And there's a quick inbound. And it's going to be number 25, Young. Back over to, it's going to be number 21, Lewis. And Lewis gets it to fall, so 33-27.
He put that shot right up over McLaughlin.
And NC Wesleyan out to a quick 6-2 run to open things up.
And nice pro hop by McLaughlin right there. And they're going to call a tech on him as assumingly he looks to talk trash right there.
And McLaughlin trying to just have a talk with him right now. Jones is. Tell him just calm down a little bit. So don't get too caught up into your emotions. McDowell will hit the first. McDowell, the 6'4", senior guard forward, like we said earlier, out of Myrtle Beach. Blake, not too far from
where I'm from, just roughly an hour and 30 minutes.
I was just about ready to ask you. I couldn't remember the exact distance, but I knew it was under 2 hours. So, but I am very jealous that you get to enjoy that beach atmosphere down there, and hopefully our winters haven't been your first winter up here hasn't been too crazy.
No, it's been. I've been in Danville for I'm a junior, so I've seen a couple of times it snowed, but really it's really different because I mean I'm from New York, so I know a little bit about the cold and everything and how it snows, but I've been in South Carolina since I was 7, so since I've been there since 2007, it snowed twice, and it's kind of weird because anytime it really gets cold in New York, you tend to see snow a lot up north, and it was really weird just it's always hot, and it's either humid or it's raining most of the time too, so it's just different, and I kind of miss being in the cold, so I'm loving Danville. I'm loving the atmosphere here.
Well, that's good, and for some reason at the beginning of the broadcast, I thought you said you were a freshman, so my bad.
You're fine.
Yeah, but back to the game here as Young will hit the shot, and say, Blake, as fun as that conversation was, I don't think they would want to hear too much about our trade-off on the weather. So 36-29 is now your score. Cash getting down with the shot, 36-31.
And that's what we was just talking about. The Cougars going to feed off that. 2 quick buckets from Cash as the Battling Bishops answer right back.
And Khalid hands right there, really going against his momentum, still gets the shot to fall.
Great shot. As they're looking to find Sellers in the low post. Bounces off his foot for another Cougars turnover. As the Battling Bishops look to start on the break. Nice steal by Bryson Davis right there.
And so Davis now. Looks like Averett might be trying to maybe slow things down a little bit. So Jones with the jumper will not fall. Young with the rebound.
McDowell, nice pass. Laying for number 21, Isaiah Lewis.
And you gotta love the form as he went up both hands and just put it up there, and really no doubt that one was gonna fall through. So Cash now trying to flip the momentum a little bit, and that's exactly what he will do.
Cash starting this second half very strong as the Battling Bishops take a timeout.
And we're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Averett Sports Network. Davin Wilson will be with me here again soon shortly as we bring you the second half of this Averett Cougars versus NC Wesleyan Battling Bishops. If you're just joining, Bishops off to a 40-33 lead here in the second half. As number 11 steps out of bounds for the Battling Bishops. And we're going to take another timeout here on the Averett Sports Network.
Being a student athlete here has definitely pushed me to do things that I have not been able to do in the past. Because of my team, I have opened up more socially, and they have pushed me to be a better athlete and a better student, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them.
My time at Averett has impacted me definitely for the positive. It's given me a wide range of experiences that has given me plenty of resources that I'll need going forward, whether it be on the field through athletics, working in my field in sports medicine, or just giving me plenty more opportunities and outlets through work study. Definitely giving me the best chance and opportunities I need for the future.
Take a drink as soon as I sit back down.
And we're back here on Averett Sports Network as the Cougars with the ball down 33-40 here in the second half.
And 15-18 left in this game. There's a long three bomb. And I tell you one thing, Blake, on the way out into the lobby on the break, Duino was giving his guys a very spirited talk. And we'll see if that leads to a little extra gas on the fire here as they get out to a good start at the break, but quick bucket back on the other end by Young.
That's what you love to see by Jones, though. His ability to space the floor as well as be down low like I talked about earlier, and him having a great feel for the game. When he gets in rhythm from deep, he won't stop. And look at another pull-up jump shot there by him again, trying to get into that rhythm and help this Cougars team out here tonight.
And, you know, they definitely will, and it's going to be number 21, Lewis, checking back into the game. But they definitely will need his presence if they're going to start trying to chip into this one a little bit more. And, you know, I think with him being limited a little bit tonight, Cash being limited a little bit tonight, I think that's played a lot of difference in this ballgame.
Definitely has.
So McLaughlin back in the game for the Cougars. Dan River native. Blake played both on the football and basketball team over there at Dan River. And, of course, Dan River coached by Farrell Edmonds, who is the son of Danville's very own, the Edmonds brothers.
Okay.
So Farrell was a NFL player himself here. Played for the Dolphins. And there's the pull-up. No good. Off NC Wesleyan, it looked like. And, yes, it will. And Averett ball, but and they're going to reverse the call.
Yeah, clearly it did look like it went off of White's leg, and I thought they was gonna say that it would stay with the Battling Bishops, and you hate to see it, but they got the call correct, and those things can matter coming down to the wire in these types of games.
Yeah, they really can matter a lot more than what one might originally think. So number 11, Hens. And I think we're going to do we have a foul? Did we have a reset of the shot clock?
I'm not sure. I think it was a shot clock problem.
Okay. I was going to say I did not see the number signal we normally get. I tell you one thing, Blake, that is not a job. I did that quite a few times over here at Averett. Did shot clock and Cash from Longland And good gosh.
And I'm telling you, you can tell right now as you see him clapping his hands, he's feeling it. And this Cougars team is definitely going to start feeding off this energy here this afternoon.
I tell you one thing, Cash's shot, he hit that from the parking deck downtown. And that is going to be number 11, Hens, hitting another long one, though.
This is just a back and forth game here this afternoon. And you got to love it, especially with it being in conference.
Yep, and it always is between these two teams. I always like to joke around and compare games to the indoor games like this to the world's largest indoor playground, full of swings.
Nice step back there by Corey Baldwin as he knocks in the 2-point mid-range jumper.
45-41 now, so if it's going to end up being a slingshot the rest of the way, who's going to have the bigger pebble? And that is going to be number 24, Jones, with a nice steal. Intercepted that pass. Cash driving in, and he gets it to fall. And that is now 8 points for Cash in what, about a 3-minute span?
And Cash is shaking up right there on that layup.
It looks like he might have rolled his ankle the wrong way coming down.
Hope everything's okay over there.
That is a pain that will send
You hate to see
cramps.
that. Definitely. You hate to see that. Nice layup, though. Definitely keeping these Cougars in this game right here.
Really is. I believe that's about 8 points for him here in about a 2.5, 3-minute span. I know at least five in the last 2 minutes. He hit that tray from long distance range. I don't know. If that ball had a cell phone playing, it would have definitely been on roaming, as it was.
As he now has 13 points.
So 11 entered the first half with only 2, or second half with only 2, and he has now scored 11 of Averett's 18 this half.
As they call Marquise Eskew for the travel right there.
And how often have we seen games like this be decided by something as simple as a travel or a charging call, a blocking call?
Definitely, especially when it comes down the wire, those foul calls and those turnovers definitely play a big factor in the outcome of the game.
They really do, and we'll see here. Baldwin with the ball now. There's a jumper. Will not get it to fall, and it's going to be number 24. Pettiford coming down with a nice rebound over Bullock, who Bullock has him by about 2 inches. You hear Delino yelling hands up, trying to make it tough, trying to contest those shots. Number 11, Hens. And Hens once again proves he's the battling Bishop shooter, knocking down a 3.
The freshman guard out of Greensboro, North Carolina, definitely picking up some minutes here for the battling Bishops. He's definitely knocking down some big-time shots.
He is, and it's almost like he's money in the bank from that left side over there, that left corner. So Jones, he's going to try to return the favor. Will not. Great play there, though, by Corey Baldwin to come up and came pretty close to the tip end right there.
He's a little shaken up right there, limping off a little bit. As we're going to take another timeout here.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here after that full timeout on the court. It's a 48-43 ball game with 11:22 left in the game. And Blake, one thing I've noticed a little bit different about Coach Thompson down here today, and Baldwin's going to hit his first attempt, 48-44. Thompson does not have his long slip back hair that I've seen him have ever since I've known him. So, and second attempt falls, 48-45, a now one possession game.
As we see Montre Cash back into the game, great to see that.
And you know, it's so easy to, when you're coming in flying so high and coming in so hard, very easy to accidentally roll something, and look at that quickness right there as Young gets the ball over, and it's now a 50-45 ball game. So Cash over to Lewis, or excuse me, to Jones. Jones back to Cash.
Down to Sellers. Sellers with a nice lay-in, but it's off as the Cougars come up with the steal.
And Baldwin will get his foot on the line there towards the end of things.
Another turnover for the Cougars. Here in the second half with 10 minutes left and being down by 5, you got to cut down on those turnovers.
You really do. That's going to be number 21, Lewis. Lewis, the big guy, 6'7" forward out of Nightdale.
That's back and forth easy baskets for the Battling Bishops.
And that's one thing we've seen a little bit out of the Cougars this year and Cash keeps bringing it in. And you see David DeWino running down there trying to make sure at least one guy stayed there about midcourt, stayed up in the front.
Another layup there for the Battling Bishops. They have to find a way to stop those easy layups.
And Young is such an imposing force down there, coming in at 6'4", 200 pounds. And so Baldwin gets it over to Davis. Davis back to Cash. Cash trying to move his way in. He will, and he's going to draw the foul. So McLaughlin coming into the game.
You can see Cash really trying to take advantage here right now. And as he's feeling high and getting his rhythm, he's trying to keep these Cougars in the game. And that's what they needed from him in the first half. And he's definitely showing that he's the point guard of this team here in the second.
And he really is. And coming in here, I believe now probably 13 points so far here in the second half, has accounted for over half of Averett's 23 second half points. So McLaughlin back into the game as Young will come out for the Battling Bishops. So Cash, see what he can do here, trying to get the Cougars within 5.
He misses, but an offensive rebound by the Cougars, but the ball is stolen away. And then a call foul with the and one is number 24, Tim Pettiford. Nice finish there by the Battling Bishops.
And that got this team fired up here. And, you know, one thing, Blake, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but NC Wesleyan and Averett, they do have a lot of degrees of separation between them, as you had former assistant coach and current Huntington men's basketball head coach David Gerganis played at Wesleyan, came over here to Averett. Then you also had Cornelius Snow, former player at Wesleyan, came to Averett. And it's been quite a few switcheroos between these two schools over the years.
Definitely has. And it's just all about the competition and feeling as a player what's best for you to be able to go and win. And I feel like that's what comes in those decisions to switch from team to team.
Yep, that's it. And you know, also having those very few opportunities. And look at that teamwork. Cash over to number 24, Jones. And Jones finds a way to push it through. A 7-point game as NC Wesleyan was on the verge of tipping this one into double digits. Cougars, of course, looking to make sure that does not happen. McDowell puts up a shot that does not have a chance. So Cash after McLaughlin, and Cash with a long ball. McDowell, and McDowell is going to draw the foul there. So that is number 8 as McLaughlin will get whistled.
Same thing that happened in the first half. Early fouls by the Cougars led to the Battling Bishops getting into the bonus. And now, with the ability for the Battling Bishops already to drive down the lane, it's going to be kind of hard for the Cougars to not foul them and not give them free points at the line.
And that's it. And, sometimes you just, you kind of have to sacrifice your queen a little bit, to use the chess analogy, and go ahead and try to play that defense and hope you don't get called for the foul as compared to just letting an easy layup go in.
Definitely, and it goes back to the refs. It depends on the type of refs that you have. If you know you got certain refs that will allow you to be aggressive and allow you to play a physical game without a lot of fouls being called, you can be in your rhythm. You can be able to really be aggressive. But when that's not going like how it is to this afternoon, it's hard for the Cougars to really be aggressive without giving the Battling Bishops a chance to earn free points.
Yeah, and that's it. And really, these two teams are pretty well matched up as far as size-wise, even though the Battling Bishops do have a couple more guys above 6'6", and they're also a little bit meatier in a way, and definitely using that to their advantage. And we've got a technical whistled against Averett as David Duino is not happy with that call.
As you see, down the other end, the Battling Bishops are getting those calls. Get them up in the air, they come down on you, you go up, and there should be a foul call. On the other end, just now, though, the Cougars did the same exact thing and no foul call. So, typical reaction from the head coach there, a little fired up, wanting that foul call.
Yeah. And, with the ball game that is still very, very close here, 9 points with just under 9 minutes left to play, or just over 8 minutes left to play. So McDowell's first shot makes it a 10-point game. 60-50. I believe this is the Battling Bishops' biggest lead of the evening thus far at 10 with 8:05 remaining. So they're wanting a reset of the shot clock. Once again, a very difficult job to do. And McDowell will get the second one to fall as well. 61-50 is now your score. So McDowell gets it over to Pettiford. Pettiford back over to number 11, Hens. Back to McDowell. And there's going to be Baldwin coming up with the turnover. Cash driving in, gets it to fall, and he's going to draw the. Yes, and he will draw the foul, number 24.
Going to be an and one for Cash right there. Big bucket, making big-time plays here in the second half for the Cougars.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a break on the court, and we'll take a break with him here on the Averett Sports Network.
I think Averett's a special place because of the camaraderie amongst everybody. I feel like it's a lot of friendships that won't be broken throughout my life, and it gave me a chance to show my abilities in wrestling and in the classroom.
I think being a student athlete impacts my overall experience a lot, just gaining a brotherhood with my teammates, and then with all the other teams, a big connection throughout all of athletics, and makes it fun to walk around campus and see everyone you know, and everyone comes out and encourages you at games, so it makes it a really fun environment.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back here to the Grant Center here in Danville, Virginia. 61-52 is your score. 7:42 left in the contest. NC Wesleyan trying to pull away here down the stretch, down midway through things, and let's see if they will be able to do it or if Averett can stop it a bit. So Cash will hit his and one attempt and makes it a 8-point game. Number 11 Hens coming down. Gets it over to 24 Pettiford. Pettiford back over to number 10 Askew. Askew over to number 24 Pettiford. Pettiford gets it over to number 11 Hens. Pettiford, shot clock running low. And that one is going to go in Averett's favor.
For a second, it looked like he traveled there as well. Took a little step.
It did, and it's going to be number 24, Jones, checking back in. Also McLaughlin coming back in. So McLaughlin over to Cash. Cash back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin over to Raymond Bullock. Shot will not count, but Bullock will still get to go to the line. It's going to be number 11 Hens, yes. And McLaughlin he's a special talent, and he's really, to tell you the truth, if fans weren't allowed to be in here, he would be bringing a lot of people into the gym. So Cash with the three will not fall, and Baldwin getting hyperactive there, trying to go up, get the rebound, unable to do so, and that's going to send the Bishops to the line for a 1-and-1.
And they called a foul right there on Bullock for the over and back. Kind of tried to grab the offensive rebound there, but leaned a little too much.
And once again, I can only imagine trying to control your body enough to be able to keep that distance that you need to be able to cleanly get the rebound and then, do it while you're midair. And you really are at gravity's call right there. So number 24, Pettiford, will go to the line. 1-and-1. Gets a default. 62-53 is now your score. NC Wesleyan trying to push things back to double digits here with 7 minutes. And will not do so. McLaughlin with the rebound. McLaughlin to Cash.
A lot of time left here for these Cougars to get back into this game.
Plenty of time. And Jones over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin back over to Jones, and Jones! He hits that one from a long way away as well.
Definitely. Tim Pettiford didn't really think he had the range with him like that. Kind of backed up off him, and Jones let it go from deep, and he was able to connect.
But this has been one of the big things that the Cougars have faced tonight. They end up seeming to get a little momentum in their favor. Things, tend to be swinging the way that they want them to swing, and they just cannot seem to stop NC Wesleyan back down, on the opposite end. So McLaughlin, he will get his own board, puts it up again. Off the shot clock, draws the foul.
McLaughlin doing a great job tonight, crashing the offensive glass like we talked about in the halftime report. Being able to get down there and get physical and give the Cougars a second chance to score, especially being down here in the second half.
And with Averett, trying to still find his rhythm, from the floor, from, outside the post, outside the paint, it's been huge. McLaughlin really has. And so number 12, Jason Sellers, comes in, along with number 22, Drake Thompson, for the battling Bishops. So NC Wesleyan switching over to its smaller unit at this point. McLaughlin, and he's going to lean a bit too far forward there.
Thought he almost was able to chase that one down since the ball kind of hit the rim as soon, but maybe he came just a little too far.
Came a little bit too far in the lane and going to pick up the violation. Still a 7-point game, though. 5:54
Cougars got to do a great job of stopping them in the paint. Battle and Bishop have had a lot of success here in the second half.
They have, and there's the jumper by number 21, Lewis. It's now 66-57. So Blake, we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Averett came in with a 5-game winning streak against NC Wesleyan, and they're going to have to kind of dig down a little bit deeper if they want to continue that winning streak moving forward. They do have the potential to do it. They have all the opportunity in the world. There's the jumper, front of the rim. So it's not falling. Averett getting whistled for another foul. And things starting to get a little frustrating for Averett down there. It seems like they're doing what they can to try to be physical.
The fouls just keep going to the Battle and Bishop's favor right there.
They do, and it's definitely been a difference maker in this one thus far.
As they miss, Battle and Bishop's missed the first one. It's number 10, Marquise Esqui.
And it's going to be number 13, Baldwin, checking back into the game. And that shot falls. It is now a 10-point contest. Just over 5 remaining.
As you see here tonight, the Battle and Bishops have taken 22 free throw attempts and have made 16 compared to the Cougars, who have shot 10 for 12. So, and with this being a 10-point game, and the Battle and Bishops making 6 more free throws than them.
Yeah,
10 more free throws than the Cougars, and the game's up by 10. So, you see, free throws are a key factor in today's game.
Yep. And really, like you were saying, Blake, could have proved all the difference thus far in this one. So NC Wesleyan. It's going to be number 11, Hens, right here. Over 222, Thompson. And Averett trying to break in and get the steal, unable to do so. Here's some frustration from Baldwin. Naturally so, as he made a nice cut towards the ball. And look at that shot right there, Lewis. The grace under pressure. Quick turnaround by the Cougars. Jones. And Jones will hit the transition 3.
Big 3 to cut the Cougars' lead. Well, not the lead, but make the Cougars down by 7 here in the second half. Big shot by Isaiah Jones right there as a timeout is called.
And since it's a full timeout, we're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network, but make sure to keep it locked right here. 4:28 left. NC Wesleyan 67, Averett 60. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center at Averett University. Averett University's North Campus here in Danville, Virginia. Got a beautiful sunny day out there today. It's a little bit chilly, but thank God the game of basketball is played indoors. At least organized basketball is.
Would be weird to see basketball being played outdoors in the rain.
It would be. It would be very strange. Of course, I know we definitely did it a few times growing up. Try to get out there and play in all sorts of weather. And Sometimes it works, and most of the time it doesn't, though.
Couldn't imagine how many turnovers.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Hockey, they had the game outside at, Fenway Park or wherever it is. And so it definitely would be a little weird to see a basketball game being played in a hurricane.
Definitely. Ball went for a mid-range jump shot. They're going to call a foul on Bullock.
And I didn't see much wrong right there.
Me either.
I didn't really even see anybody close to being around Bullock.
That goes back to just the fouls just being in the Ballon Bishop's favors. Felt like that was a great offensive rebound by Bullock right there.
Yeah. Yep. So 21, Isaiah Lewis coming up to the line. First shot will fall. That's an 8-point game now. And you see David Duino down there letting his displeasure be known, letting his emotions show a little bit. And why not? You got to be out there. Part of your job as coaches to stand up for your guys. And Blake, I remember Duino and I, we both started over here the same year. And I remember talking with him, doing a preview story for Averett. And that was one thing he was talking about, is being there, being vocal for his guys, making sure his guys. And Bullock puts it up. Oh, and he's a bit unlucky. Ends up on the wrong end of some English.
That would have been a big three-point play there for the Cougars to possibly bring this lead down to 6. And with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left, they definitely could have used that one right there.
They really could have. And but you know, Duino, like I was saying earlier, Bullock going up here, he was very adamant about being vocal from the sidelines, making sure his guys heard him, making sure his guys knew they were that they were being supported, and that includes giving the referees some halitosis sometimes too.
Definitely. Some of that comes with, as a coach, sometimes you tell your players, don't talk back, don't get no technical fouls. But at the same time, that shows emotion. And as a coach, you being able to sacrifice a technical foul on your end because you're so into the game and you want to stick up for your teammates, it shows a lot, and your players definitely feed off of that.
They do, and especially in a physical game like this that is starting to get pretty emotional down there, I'm not going to lie. And tries to go up there, number 12, Sellers for the basket, does not get it to fall. Does draw the foul, though.
The great thing about the Cougars with these back-to-back fouls is that it gives them a chance to earn points while saving time on the clock. Being down right now with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left, down by 8, they could possibly right here make it a 6-point game once again. So the Bullet three-point play kind of doesn't hurt them, but also would have made the lead a little bit closer.
A little bit, yeah, made the deficit close it a little bit. And second shot, and we'll get it to fall. And we had some entanglement down there, and you always love to see that, Blake, though, because like we said, emotions are getting high down there. There was an entanglement right there, and instead of getting mad at each other and upset, they helped each other up. Sportsmanship you like to see.
You love to see that.
And any coach of John Thompson is going to have that. And number 11, Hens, knocks down the jumper. Duino wants a timeout, 71-63, 3:01 left to play. We'll be right back.
I think being a student athlete impacts my overall experience a lot, just gaining a brotherhood with my teammates, and then with all the other teams, a big connection throughout all of athletics, and makes it fun to walk around campus and see everyone you know, and everyone comes out and encourages you at games, so it makes it a really fun environment.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center at Averett University. 71-63 is your score. 2:57 left in this contest. So McLaughlin over to Baldwin. Baldwin back over to Jones. Jones with a long ball off the back iron. And look at Baldwin coming down with the board.
Definitely needed that offensive rebound right there.
Definitely. That was a big time play right there. Makes it a 6-point game. You don't get that shot right there. And then that Wesleyan comes back down, extends it back to 10. This point in the game, it might be lights out.
That's going to be Cougars' ball. Great defense by Corey Baldwin right there.
Really
keep his hands up, stay active with his hands as well, and to play great defense and not allow the Battling Bishops to get inside the lane.
Really did a great job there, and especially with as tight of a watch these officials are keeping on things tonight in terms of physicality. Great job there not to draw the foul. So Cash. And that pass really didn't go anywhere. So some nice hands down there by Averett assistant coach Chris Sauce.
Almost a turnover there by the Averett Cougars, though. That was real scary.
It was close. And Cash with the ball now. So it's going to be Baldwin. So Cash driving in and almost pulls a Michael Jordan behind the basket type affair right there, as he was darn near on the baseline when he put that one up. Lets it go and it falls 71-67.
Definitely a great layup there by Cash. You see it from him this whole second half, being able to get a quick bucket when the Cougars need it, and he's definitely showing why he's the point guard of this team.
He is, and I mean that was almost one of those things with Cash. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And so Cash is going to get whistle for the foul. David Duino is wanting to travel, and we're getting to the point in this game where
these calls are going to start mattering.
They are. They really are, and especially with the two possession game right now. And 72-67, and as well as NC Wesleyan has been shooting from the line tonight. So once again, we have to give a shout out to, and 73-67 now. We have to give a shout out to, it's going to be number 10, Askew, coming into the game out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, right once again, more or less in Wesleyan's backyard. But one thing that we've really seen, and I completely forgot what I was going to say, but that's what happens when you get old.
Pull-up shot by Baldwin, no good. As the Cougars get a great steal right there, a much-needed steal as they're on a fast break. Cash from three, and it's good as the Cougars cut the lead to 3 with 1 minute and 17 seconds left. Big-time three by Montre Cash right there.
And I tell you one thing, those are the type of plays that you want to see out of a senior, you expect to see out of a senior. I mean, the steal, the defensive play on the other, or on that end of the court, right back down, 73-70 ball game. And, you know, Blake, we've been talking about it all day. It just goes to show you how much this game can turn on its head at a drop of a hat.
Definitely, like you said earlier, it's a game of runs, and quick turnovers and fast breaks can lead to a quick comeback and a turnaround when the team needs it the most. And especially when you have a senior that's been in situations before, that has the ability to turn the game around like Montre Cash, it definitely shows here late in the second half.
And really, you know, it came at a time where Averett really needed that. They needed that little, that extra punch to the arm, you know, and it just, I don't know, Cash once again, point guard, proving why he's such a talented guy and proving why he's the leader of this team. So 3-point game, 1:17 left. We probably should have gone to commercial break at this point, but we just decided things were so fun here that we were going to stay with you for this full timeout. as we run down to the final 67 seconds of this game. Or will it be regulation? As will we see a tie here? So first half was definitely a low-scoring affair, ended with only 52 points, 27-25. So here in the second half, that has been a different story, as Wesleyan now with 46 points here so far in the second half, and Averett with 45. So a lot less defensive battle here in the second half, and a little bit more focus on the offense. Of course, with a one-possession game, you got to know it's all going to come down to defense.
You kind of see like each team playing to each other's level. In the first half, they was both kind of slow pace, starting it off, getting in the rhythm, and then here in the second, it was a back and forth game between the two teams, and it's showing definitely here late. As Wesleyan fights to get the offensive rebound, and they do, and they're going to call a travel, and it will be Cougars ball with 1 minute and 3 seconds left here to play.
And Blake, what is that going to do to the momentum of this game right here? As you see Averett already pumped up, and of course, looked like Wesleyan might be trying to run a little bit of a press at first, but they will back off.
As we get into the late seconds of this game, looking to see what the Cougars draw up, go for a 3 or a 2. As a quick pump, they step back by Jones, too strong. Cougars going to go with the rebound. Sellers, great lay-in as there's 43 seconds to go. Cougars are now down by 1.
Down by 1, 38 seconds. NC Wesleyan can run it down to about 13. I don't think they're going to have any interest in doing that, though.
Nice pickup by Bullet. Wide open man. And he hits that 3. And that's something right there that you cannot give up here late in the second half, as now the Wesleyan battling Bishops push the lead to 4 points, 76-72.
And that was Pettiford right there. And so we're going to take a timeout here at the Grant Center. We'll be right back. 76-72, 23 and a half left to play. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center. And Blake, we're going to have a photo finish here.
Definitely coming into this game, you would think that with the history of these two teams that it will be a battle, and surely enough, it definitely is here this afternoon.
It really is, and of course, shot clock off now. Cash, well, we see Cash trying to go from beyond the arc here, or play a little bit more methodical of a chess match. He's looking to go chess match right now. He gives it out to Bullock. Does not get it to fall, and McDowell gets the board. And with 3
I feel like there was a lot of time wasted there by Cash, dribbling the ball. Good defense by the battling Bishops, as now they go to the line for 2 free throws to try to ice this game and put this one away here at the Grant Center.
And, not to be pessimist, but you got to think at this point anyway, with 3.3 seconds, that this one is written into the books, and that NC Wesleyan will move to 6-3 on the year, 3-0 in the USA South. And McDowell has pretty much just put the seal on this game, put the stamp on the envelope.
The Cougars now will fall to 0-2, but 0-1 in the conference. So a lot of games left to be played this season, and this Cougars team definitely shows a lot of prosper and a lot of talent that they can definitely move forward with.
They can, and of course they will be taking on Methodist at 4:30 on February 5th. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up here at the Grant Center. 78-72 is your final score. Ladies and gentlemen, on the behalf of myself and Mr. Blake Jenkins, thank you for joining us here today on the Averett Sports Network. And Blake, you want to take us home?
Yeah, this was definitely a great game, and it was definitely something that was exciting, I know, for me and the viewers, and it was just great to see here this afternoon. Hopefully Cougars can come back and get their first win soon enough.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in with us. We know you could have been a bunch of different places on this Wednesday afternoon. In fact, most of you probably did listen to this from the office if you did listen. So we do appreciate this one, and make sure you join us again on February 5th at 4:30 p.m. for Averett versus Methodist men's basketball here on the Averett Sports Network.